Stop being so dramatic. It's just money, Vanessa said, flicking her hand like it meant nothing. She was sitting on my couch, relaxed and carefree, wearing a designer dress and carrying a purse that looked like it could pay my rent for the next 2 months. I sat across from her, gripping the edge of the coffee table so tightly my fingers ached. My heart was racing. I was trying hard not to lose my temper. It wasn't just money, Vanessa, I said quietly, but my voice was shaking. It was $7,000, money I saved for years. I was going to use it to finally start my bakery. Vanessa gave a little shrug and smirked. It was an emergency, she said casually. I had that big charity gala to go to. I needed to look the part. You know how these things work. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Was she serious? This was the emergency she begged me to help with? You lied to me, I said, finally looking her in the eye. You said you needed it for bills, for rent. You said you were about to be evicted. I said a lot of things, she replied, standing up and brushing imaginary lint off her expensive dress. Relax, I'll pay you back when I can. No need to be so dramatic. You can save it again. And just like that, she walked out of my house as if nothing happened, as if she hadn't just stomped all over my trust, my savings, and my dreams. That moment stuck with me, not just because she took the money, but because of how little she cared, how easily she dismissed everything I'd worked for. That was the moment something inside me shifted. Let me back up a little. My name is Gretchen, I'm 35, married, and for the last several years, I've been saving up every spare penny to start a small bakery. It's been my dream since I was a teenager. I've worked full-time, taken on side gigs, skipped vacations, skipped new clothes, whatever it took to build that savings account. My husband Ryan has been supportive, but his family, especially his sister Vanessa, has always been complicated. Vanessa is the type of person who always finds a way to get what she wants. She's charming, well-spoken, and somehow always lands on her feet, usually by stepping on someone else. When she came to me asking for help, she looked desperate. She said she needed money immediately to cover bills and that she was in danger of losing her apartment. She cried, she begged, she called it a family emergency. I believed her. But now, seeing her in that brand new dress, sitting so smugly in my living room with her $1,000 purse, I realized the truth. She'd tricked me, and she wasn't even sorry. That evening, I sat down with Ryan. My hands were still trembling, but I needed to tell him everything. She used the money to buy luxury clothes, I said, my voice tight with anger. She lied to me, Ryan, and I'm not letting this go. He blinked, clearly caught off guard. Wait, what? Are you sure? She admitted it to my face, I replied, said she needed to look good for some fancy party. She even laughed about it. He ran his hands through his hair. Gretchen, she's my sister. If you take this further, it's going to get ugly. I know, I said, my voice steady, but it's not just about the money anymore. It's about the fact that she thinks she can just do this and walk away. She thinks I won't stand up for myself. Ryan looked torn. I could see him trying to juggle his loyalty to his family with his respect for me. The next morning, I sat alone at the kitchen table, staring at my savings spreadsheet. Every line on it told a story. Extra hours I worked, holidays I skipped, small sacrifices I made to chase something that mattered to me. That $7,000 wasn't just a number. It was my hard work, my patience, my dream. Ryan joined me at the table, still trying to be the peacemaker. I get why you're upset, he said. I really do, but suing her, she'll make it seem like you're the problem. You know how she is. I know exactly how she is, I said. She plays the victim every time, but this time, she stole from me. She used my kindness against me, and if I don't do something about it, she'll just do it again to someone else. He was quiet for a long time. I just don't want this to ruin everything, he said. It already did, I replied softly, the moment she decided her shopping spree was more important than my dream. Later that day, I called my best friend, Linda. I needed someone who wasn't emotionally tangled up in this situation. She said it was just money. I told her over the phone, like I'm being dramatic for caring. Linda didn't even pause. That woman is unbelievable, she snapped. Gretchen, you need to stop being the one who always lets things go. She's counting on you to do exactly that. I sighed. What if this tears Ryan's family apart? If that's what happens, she said bluntly, that's not on you. She took your money, lied to your face. If she didn't want consequences, She shouldn't have stolen. Her words hit me like a jolt of cold water. She was right. This wasn't about revenge, it was about boundaries, about making it clear that my time, my money, and my dreams mattered. That night, I sat down with Ryan again. I've decided, I told him, I'm filing a lawsuit. He didn't argue this time. He looked tired, conflicted, but he nodded. If this is what you need to do, I'm with you. And just like that, I took the first step towards standing up for myself. Vanessa might be used to walking away from the messes she creates, but not this time. This time, I was ready to fight back. I'm the unreasonable one, I repeated, unable to believe what I'd just heard. I tried to handle this privately. I gave her chances. I even offered a compromise. Vanessa made it clear she doesn't care. This lawsuit is the only way she'll take this seriously. There was a long silence on the other end of the phone. Well, Ryan's mother finally said, her voice tight, you do what you think is best. She didn't sound supportive, just tired, maybe even a little annoyed. I knew what that meant. She wasn't really on my side. I ended the call and sat back down beside Ryan on the couch. He looked up from the news he was watching, concerned. Was that my mom? He asked. Yeah, I said with a sigh. She wasn't happy about the lawsuit. He leaned back, rubbing his forehead. She's just worried. Everyone in my family always walks on eggshells around Vanessa, trying not to upset her. I looked at him seriously. Well, maybe it's time someone stopped doing that. She's been hurting people and getting away with it for years. It has to end. The next morning, I had another meeting with Miss Patel, my lawyer. She looked calm and collected, as always, and had a confident look in her eyes. We've got everything we need to prove Vanessa lied, she told me, but I also received something new I think you should see. She slid a folder across her desk. Inside were documents from Ryan's other sibling, his older brother, Kyle. Apparently, when Kyle heard about the lawsuit, he sent in proof that Vanessa had done something similar to him. The folder was full of screenshots of text messages, bank transfers, and emails. Vanessa had begged Kyle for money too, saying it was an emergency. She told him it was for medical bills, but then she'd gone on vacation and posted pictures of fancy meals and designer handbags on her social media. She's been doing this to other family members, Miss Patel said. This isn't just a mistake, it's a pattern. She's been using her family like a bank, with no intention of paying anyone back. I stared at the pages, overwhelmed. On one hand, I was furious. On the other, I felt oddly vindicated. I wasn't alone. Vanessa had lied to others too, but I was the first person to say enough is enough. Why hasn't anyone stopped her before? I asked, flipping through the documents. Miss Patel gave a tired smile. Because people like Vanessa count on silence. They count on guilt. They know most families don't want drama. You're the first to take a stand. That thought stuck with me all day. Vanessa had made a habit out of taking advantage of people, and everyone had let her because it was easier than fighting. But I wasn't going to stay silent anymore. That evening, Ryan came home from work to find me sitting at the kitchen table surrounded by papers and folders. He looked at the mess, then at me. What's all this? He asked. It's more proof, I said. Kyle sent over everything. Vanessa's been lying to him for years too. He sat down slowly and started reading. As he flipped through the pages, his face turned from confused to shocked to angry. I always knew she wasn't great with money, he said, his voice low. But this is beyond that. She's been using us, all of us. She has, I agreed, and I won't let her keep doing it. He looked at me with concern. Do you think this lawsuit is going to tear the family apart? I thought for a moment. Maybe, I said honestly, but if no one stops her, she's just going to keep hurting people. This isn't about revenge, it's about protecting ourselves, and making sure she can't do this again. Ryan nodded. You're right, she needs to face the consequences, no more excuses. In the days that followed, Miss Patel added Kyle's documents to our case. Meanwhile, Vanessa kept trying to control the narrative. She sent messages in family group chats, trying to play the victim. Gretchen's always been jealous of me. One message said, she's trying to ruin my life just because I've always been the favorite. I sent the message to Miss Patel. Her response was short and perfect. Let her dig her own grave. The closer we got to the court date, the more anxious I felt, but I also felt stronger. For once, I was fighting back. Vanessa couldn't lie her way out of this. Then, the day of the hearing arrived. As Ryan and I walked into the courtroom, I could feel my heart pounding. Everything felt heavy, like the air itself knew this was important. I spotted Vanessa at the defendant's table, dressed to impress, looking as smug and polished as ever. She met my gaze and gave me a little smirk, mouthing the words, "Good luck." I looked away, gripping the evidence folder in my hands. This wasn't about luck, it was about truth. Miss Patel leaned over and whispered, "You've got this, Gretchen, just tell your story, the truth is on your side." The hearing began, and Miss Patel stood up to deliver her opening statement. Her voice was steady and powerful. "This case is about trust," she told the court, "trust that was broken when the defendant lied to her own family to get money, and then used that money not for survival, but for luxury. She showed everything, text messages, bank statements, receipts. The story was clear. Vanessa had taken $7,000 from me under false pretenses and used it for clothes, purses, and parties." Vanessa's lawyer tried to claim that the money was a gift, but Miss Patel pulled out the text where Vanessa promised to pay it back. "She lied," Miss Patel said simply, "and she knew exactly what she was doing." Then it was my turn to testify. I stood up, nervous but determined, and told the court exactly what had happened, from the moment Vanessa asked for help to the moment I realized she had betrayed me. When Vanessa's lawyer cross-examined me, he tried to twist my words. "Haven't you helped other family members with money before?" he asked. "Yes," I said, "but they didn't lie to me about why they needed it. Vanessa did. That's what makes this different." The judge nodded, listening closely. Then Vanessa took the stand. She put on her best sad face, even dabbed her eyes with a tissue. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone," she said. "I was going through a hard time. I thought Gretchen understood I'd pay her back eventually." Miss Patel wasn't having it. "If you intended to repay her," she asked, "can you show us any proof, a message, a payment plan, even one attempt to send money back?" Vanessa froze. "Well, no, but I thought." "No further questions," Miss Patel said, cool as ever. Then she brought out the final blow, Kyle's testimony. He stood in front of the judge and explained how Vanessa had borrowed money from him too, saying it was for health reasons, only to post pictures from a tropical vacation. "This is who she is," he said firmly, "and someone needs to stop her." Vanessa looked like she'd been slapped. Her face turned red. She didn't have any more words or tricks left. The judge called a short break to review the evidence. I sat beside Ryan, trying to calm my nerves. He squeezed my hand. "No matter what the judge says, I'm proud of you. You didn't let her walk all over you." "Thanks," I whispered. "I just want this chapter to be over." When the judge returned, the room fell quiet. He looked at Vanessa, then at me. "The court finds in favor of the plaintiff, Gretchen Hayes," he said. "The defendant is ordered to repay the full $7,000, along with additional legal fees." I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. Relief rushed through me like a wave. I turned to look at Vanessa. She was silent, her face stiff and pale. For once, she had no smirk, no excuse, no comeback. For the first time, she had to face the consequences of her lies. And I, finally, had peace.